Bitcoin is a bank in cyberspace. Monetary energy, ore of the earth, doubles every year. Listen to my words. Selling doesn't hurt. Selling is absurd. It's like cutting off your wings, but you want to be a bird.
Alright guys, welcome back. It's been a long time since I did a drive time video, so I thought I'd do a nice little drive time video for you. I want to talk about a few things in the market right now, right? What's happening? Okay, there's a lot of news that's going on, right? Obviously, we've recently had someone like John McAfee, pass away. We've had all these massive China FUD. In China FUD this time was the real FUD, right? So it's genuinely Chinese miners have left the country and gone to places like Mongolia and this and that, whatever. So many other different countries. Well, bad luck to China and good luck to everyone else. Now, there are a lot of people with mixed feelings regarding this. They're saying like, oh no, it's a good thing and a bad thing. You know what? You can never win. You can never win. When China had it, everyone's making a problem about, oh, China's got all the mining and hash rate and everything, right? And now that China doesn't, then everybody's now going to be moaning again, right? So recently I was listening to a podcast, and Tone Vay's podcast, and he was talking about how he feels it's not a great thing because now it's going into American USA. If it goes to a USA soil, then the government and regulators could come in and stop whatnot and this and that. And I'm looking at all of this. I'm saying this is just the beginning, right? China FUD had stopped. Now it's the beginning of a new FUD. Honestly, that's all it is, right? The fact is the way Satoshi Nakamoto designed the system, even if one system is mining crypto, right, as long as there's one mining crypto, the hash rate will always adjust and always come back to the 10-minute block times. All right, the only thing it did was it couldn't adjust, it couldn't find the block. So what it did was it was doing it like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, something like that. So it reduced the number of supply, which is good, right? So because we've got a supply squeeze. And the other thing, talking about supply squeeze, this is funny, right? So miners have sold their Bitcoins, their holdings, to facilitate them moving abroad or whatnot, move equipment, buy new equipment, buy new facilities, whatever, right? So that's what they've done. Now, the funny thing about that is just after all of that finished, so it was a dramatic drop, like, in a couple of days. After that, you started seeing accumulation. You started seeing miners accumulating. So miners are not selling. Now, when miners don't sell, what does that relate to? A supply squeeze. Very simple. It's a supply squeeze. So remember, we're close to 19 million coins already. We've got another almost close to 120 years until the last coin is going to be mined. So the battle is not even on for 21 million coins. The battle right now is literally on for 2 million coins, or just over 2 million coins. Nobody seems to understand this. Bitcoin is already scarce, very scarce, very, very scarce. So there's a massive supply shortage, right? And obviously, market itself has kind of calmed down in the sense that there's not too much hype going on. And the hype, you got to blame all these, what would I call them? Like big influencers. I've always talked about influencers, right? When there's a FUD, they'll FUD it down even more. When there's a big FOMO, they'll FOMO up even more. But most of the time, they have no idea what they're doing, and they don't do it for the public. They do it for themselves. So, they're causing more issues than, just giving actual facts and being honest about it. Now, I've been looking at data, looking at the charts, looking at everything. And, there's a few things that I'm seeing, right? So one, we mentioned it on yesterday's video. We mentioned how what we are seeing is the volume has dropped ridiculous levels, right? We're seeing $66 billion global market trading volume. And we're seeing 24 or 25 billion out of that in Bitcoin, right? Approximately 18 or 19 billion in Ethereum. So Ethereum volume is holding up, right? And again, another thing, you see a lot of hype with Ethereum. Now, we know a lot of institutions are interested in Ethereum. They're interested because of what Ethereum is doing with the EIP 1559 and everything. So like all the upgrades that are coming, in fact, the upgrade is this month, right? Because the testnet's already live, by the way. So they're just going to make the mainnet live. But that's what's happening. There's a lot of, they understand that, okay, if we hold XYZ amount of Ethereum, if we stake it on a good staking protocol, then we're going to get XYZ amount of returns regardless where the market goes, because we get it in Ethereum. Very simple. You become a miner. Anybody who has more than 32 Bitcoins, or 32 Bitcoins basically, can run a node, and as long as your coding is optimal, you can be mining Ethereum. You will be getting Ethereum, a portion of Ethereum on the whole system. So that's what people are looking at, right? That's what these big institutions, the big boys with like more than a couple of thousand, like maybe 10,000 Bitcoin, Ethereum in their wallets, right? That's what they're looking at, you know. So there is a massive movement coming, and the massive hype and everything going on. They understand, and we're talking. There's a lot of people talking about like the Bitcoin, Ethereum flipping, right? Like Ethereum's going to flip Bitcoin basically with the market cap. Maybe, who cares? I don't care. It doesn't mean basically Bitcoin's going to be dormant. The reason I'm saying this is Bitcoin's about to launch Taproot in November, and Bitcoin Lightning Network just got the biggest adoption ever overnight. El Salvador gave Bitcoin Lightning Network, LND, right, literally a boost overnight of 6 million people, 6 million users. Think about that. So there's a lot of money now going into the Lightning Network Foundation, a lot of work going on. In fact, recently Litecoin has joined as well. So Litecoin will also be, and Litecoin is part of the Lightning Network anyway. So Litecoin will also be issuing the thing. So there's going to be a massive Litecoin coming soon as well, because that will be the alternative to Bitcoin. If you can't afford to buy Bitcoin, what would you buy? You buy something that's worth a fraction of it, which is Litecoin. And remember, Litecoin is basically a duplicate of Bitcoin. The only difference it has is it's got 210 million coins compared to 21 million. That's all it is. Other than that, it's the same thing, you know. So I'm looking at all of this and I'm saying, okay, market, even though there's so many great news, right? You know, some of the biggest banks on the planet are now issuing offerings, services, cryptocurrency services, to the point where some of those big boys are actually even offering what do you call this, the clients to actually withdraw Bitcoin. So they're selling Bitcoin to the client directly from the bank. They will hold custody and they will basically sell to you if you want, or you can withdraw to your own private wallet if you want as well. Now, what else do you want? It's all of this is good news, but looking at the market, looking at some of the majority of the players, right? Now I have to call them majority, right? Majority of the players, the big boys. So we've got two categories of players. We've got majority of small fish, right? You know, we call them fry, you know, baby fish, right? And we got majority of whales. Now, majority of whales who have cashed out have been stacking and buying recently. So that's what they're doing. Holders, I'm not going to talk about. Holders are a different story. They're still holding. None of the holders are. Anyone holding knows this for sure. If you hold for XYZ amount of time, you're always going to make more money. So there's no point talking about holding or anything like this, right? That's a different story. Now, you've got, so whales basically reaccumulating, buying, whatnot. Retail is one of the biggest, like millions and millions of people combined, right? Hundreds of millions of people combined. And we see a massive problem in that. We see very small amounts of money coming in, because the thing is these guys are not confident. They're afraid they're going to buy 100 quid worth today and it's going to drop to 90 quid, something like that, right? That's what they're afraid of. They just don't see the bigger picture because they're in it for the short term. They don't understand anything, and I don't blame them. I was in the same boat back in 2010 when I was first introduced to Bitcoin. I didn't understand it, so why would I put my money there? So the same kind of situation is happening right now, where, you know, a lot of retail are buying miniature. But what they are doing is they're keeping the kind of money flow momentum up, right? So it means a lot of money is being flowing in. Also, I've got a video at the end of this, so I've already pre-recorded it. just about 30 minutes ago. I pre-recorded it, the charts basically, and I want to show you some things based on the monthly, based on the weekly, and especially the money flow. So do watch it to the end. You will find value, definitely, hopefully. Right? So, but that's, you know, these are the kind of data we're seeing. We're like, okay, what is the money coming in or going out over a long time? What's going on? Well, we see more money coming in than money going out. In a short term, we see all the signals telling us that buy, 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 everything's saying buy, right? We use multitudes of indicators, right? So, I mean, I was sitting, and this is not on the video, I was sitting home yesterday, and I was going through some of the indicators that I use, and I can tell you this, right? I was doing combinations and, you know, multiple charts and whatnot, and all of them are indicating the same thing. They're all saying it's all over, it's about to start again. So if this is the case, this looks too familiar. Remember I told you, this cycle looks very similar to what happened in 2013. Very similar. It's not the same, but it looks very similar. And that's freaky. But at the same time, when we look at a bigger picture over a bigger 10-year time scale, well, on the log chart, we're still trending up. We're still trending up. And I was showing something to someone else on a private call. And I said, where we are now, when we're actually still in the bearish zone. So listen to what I'm about to say. This is crazy, right? Since the dump in 2020, right, to now, or we can say since the dump in 2018, to be more precise, or 2018, there's a curve. We haven't actually gone above the curve yet. We're actually still below the curve. There's a trend line, there's a median trend line. We're still below that. I'll show it to you in another video tomorrow or something, because today's video I didn't put it in. But I'll show you. It's just funny. It's like where we are right now. Of course, all of you guys might be saying, this guy is nuts. He's mental. He just is purely a bull, right? He's so bullish. Of course, listen, I'm bullish based on facts, nothing else. Because I don't have a short-term vision. I don't see, you know, oh, the market's going to flip tomorrow and boom, 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 we're going to make a lot of money. I don't see that. I'm not in it for that. I've told you so many times. I believe in Bitcoin. I believe in crypto. You know, I believe in crypto. There are many, many projects. I believe in them. And if I believe in them, I just take them out, lock them up, throw them away. Right? Oh yeah, talking about that, I want to drop something else today as well. Binance. There's a lot of Binance fun. Right? Binance this, Binance that, Binance that. Now, I really, really want everybody, so if you're watching this, please go to CZ, like Binance CEO, CZ, go to his Twitter and just read through what he's been tweeting. And one of those tweets, only one single tweet, right? Well, I can say two, really, really made sense to me. He says, Bitcoin doesn't have any headquarters. That's all he says. Bitcoin doesn't have any headquarters, so shouldn't Binance. And then later on, just a few days ago, I think 2-3 days ago, he tweeted something else again, and he says Binance is going to become less and less centralized. And then he left a question mark. So is he indicating that Binance is going to soon be decentralized? Because my God, if he does, that will be on the next level. I mean, I'm more excited. By the way, I know a lot of people who are fearful and this and that have been shifting, moving their money from Binance, you know, getting fearful. I haven't. Whatever I've got in Binance is still there. I don't give a damn. I have faith in these guys. I have faith in these guys. So I've left it there. I may be wrong. Do you know what I mean? Don't hold me to it. That's just my own personal thing I'm doing. But I've left it there, and I don't see it being a problem because I have faith in CZ, right? And I believe that there's a lot more in the background that's going on. So for me, I've got this weird feeling that within the next few years, I wouldn't say it right now, within the next few years, I've got this feeling Binance is going to do something that will decentralize it. And I was looking at something else as well yesterday, and I've got this funny feeling I figured out what Binance's problem is. So say for example, like this is funny as well, right? There's so many countries now. I think there's 7 or 8 countries currently says Binance has to pay a certain amount of fine. That's all they ask for, fine, nothing more. Well, Binance's SAFU fund, I think has about 8 billion in there. Binance ain't bothered. And do you know what the fine was? Something like $20,000. Seriously, guys, $20,000 for Binance? They make that in a minute. So it didn't make any sense to me. It just didn't make any sense to me. $20,000, come on. So that's what it is. Binance got to pay a certain amount of fine and XYZ, whatnot, right? Until they get their paperwork. So Binance will sort that out. Now, what I seen was the problem. Check this out. Buying and selling crypto isn't a problem, right? Holding crypto on Binance isn't a problem. None of that is a problem. Guess what the problem they picked up on? Trading. So leverage trading, right? Options, futures trading. That's what they picked up on. And I said to myself, I said, all this time, Binance has had it there, but they didn't bother. What was this one trigger? What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? And then I had that light bulb moment. I was like, aha, I know what the problem is. I'll tell you what the problem is. Recently, nobody looked at this. Recently, Binance decided to, and you should know, Binance is heavily invested in FTX exchange, and FTX does derivative trading and options for real world stock in crypto. And recently Binance allowed that on the platform. You see what I mean? A light bulb moment. I'm like, so that's what they're talking about. They don't want Binance to mix stocks. Do you understand now? It's not the crypto. They have zero problem with the crypto. They can't stop crypto. They know it's decentralized. What do? You block one exchange, another exchange cup, liquidity moves from Binance to Coinbase. Well, guess what? It's another day. Nobody bothers. It doesn't bother anybody. The only difference that anybody that would be impacted is Binance itself. The users don't really get impacted. Anybody holding BNB may be a little bit impacted, but that's it. That's just about it. So it was quite funny when I looked at that. I was like, this is what it is, because that's all I can see. Let's trace ourselves back. Let's move back. Each update they did. It's not the NFT. It's not this. It's not that. It's not, because these were all, some of these were existing functions. What was the one thing Binance did very recently that Binance shouldn't be doing and is classed as derivatives? Well, stocks. Stocks. That's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, for me, if I was Binance, I would disable that function just for now, and I'll say, you know what, show my middle finger, and I say, well, happy days, it's switched off. So what derivatives? Derivatives, right? You know, because they're not bothered about crypto products. It's the real world product. So that's what it is. That's what it is. And so yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the market right now like calm down, indecisive. You know, we can see that in the RSI, where RSI is hovering around that middle point, right? Everything is just in that middle point. So we do have some good news and some bad news. Bad news is, like, for example, we're in the middle, indecisive, right? Good news is we do see money flowing in. So we're starting to see money come in. But another thing I want to talk about, this money coming in. Remember, almost maybe for a month now, right? Or a month ago, I started talking about something that I kept on noticing. I noticed hundreds of millions of dollars worth of USDT coming into the game, being minted, right? USDC printed, BUSD printed, anything to do with USD printed, but the equivalent amount of crypto, like usual, was not being bought. Those funds were just sitting there. Now, we have tracked, right? So by tracking the coins and seeing what are they doing, well, we can see a lot of USDT are locked into yield farming protocols. A lot of USDTC and BUSD, all of them, by the way, I'm talking about all of them as general, right? They're being locked up in protocols, yield farms, liquidity farms, right? You know, lending, borrowing. That's what they're sat on. The money's there. That's why on the coin market cap, you can't see the total amount, because the total amount is is only shown when it's actually in the USDT, because it's a smart contract, right? If it's going in to do an action, it's going to be in the action, and then if there's excess amount, it will be burned. That's what's happening from what I can see, right? You know, so the money's there, it's just sitting there. There's hundreds of billions. I mean, look at it, $1.4 trillion, almost close to 1.5 trillion, right? Of dollars, right? Where are they? Simple, just ask yourself, where are they, right? You know, when you're looking at the thing, you might say, oh, number 3 coin, USDT. But no one's looking at USDC. No one's looking at BUSD, right? HUSD, this USD, that USD. Trust me, there's maybe about 100 USD peg coins. No one's looking at those. Add them all up together. And I've mentioned it before, they own about 30% of the market. 30% of the market, that's a lot of money. So the money's not in the shit coins. The money's sitting in those USDT coins. That's where the money is. So fresh money's coming in, obviously. What we see now, momentum indicator showing us fresh money's coming in. By the way, this is all it's showing, fresh money coming in, fresh money going out, nothing else. It's not showing you what money's already in there. You're not going to see that, right? If money's come in today, it's going to show you money came in today. If the money's sitting there stagnant from tomorrow, it's not going to show you that anymore. So understand this as well. So money flow indicator is not going to exactly show you, you know, how much money's been sitting there. It's not going to show you that. That's what you use the coin market cap or the total market cap volume for. That's how much money we have in there. 1.47, I believe, right? $1 trillion sitting. We know that. That's the number, right? Money coming in. We can see currently XYZ billions of dollars coming in. We can see XYZ $1 billion going out. That's what we can see. So, yeah, very interesting facts, right? Very interesting fact. I mean, I kind of liked it. So it's going to be a move. It's going to be a massive move. I'm not quite sure what the move's going to be or when the move's going to be. I have to be honest, right? All I can see so far with all the market and the news that I'm seeing basically is they are heavily trying to push Ethereum. So definitely something to do with Ethereum, you know, in preparation of all of this. Now, by the way, also I want to say this as well. You know, when the EIP 1559 launch date comes, you're going to see a massive pump. This is my prediction. You're going to see a massive pump. And then what you're going to see is a massive dump. So I'll tell you what I'll be doing. Just after the EIP 1559, I'm going to be monitoring. And if I see even a little you know, signal, a smaller signal, like on a 15-minute signal saying market's going to go down, trust me, I'm going to be dumping all my ETH. Whatever holding I have, I'm going to dump it, right? Because I'm going to dump it and then rebuy it, basically. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm not really, you know, that bullish on the news that, oh, we're going to be launching this, we're going to be doing that. I'm not really that bullish. I need to observe and see what's going on. So even though, because remember, my locked ones are locked, right? That's a different story. But whatever I'm holding, might as well cash out, make a bit more. Happy days, right? Just recycle the change, right? That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then BTC, as I said, I'm waiting for a lot of upgrades to come on BTC. BTC, we're not going to see anything until November. So let's see what happens. I think that's when we're going to be, just before that, we're going to start seeing people accumulating, and then we'll see a little dump there. So let's see what happens. You know, end of the day, right now, market is very indecisive. So guys, be very careful what you do, how you react. If you're a hodler, just hodl. Don't panic too much. If you're not a hodler and you know, you just want to buy and sell, then you've got to be very careful. Watch out for the signals. Use the stochastic RSI. Use it on a lower time frame, like an hourly, 4-hourly, or something like this, to get your buys and your sells. So remember, whenever the RSI is on the top, you sell. When the RSI is on the bottom, you buy, and you can make a nice little decent change within those time frames as well. So yeah, other than that, I'm going to drop the other chart right now, and I'll see you at the end. Adios, amigos. Let's do a nice little short one today. So those of you who are rushing for time, don't have enough time, I've got something really short and sweet for you. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe, comment. It doesn't hurt, supports the channel. Let's grow together, and let's go straight into the content today, right? So we're still hovering around the 1.4, about to get to the 1.5 trillion. Currently, what I am seeing is the altcoins are actually moving the market, right? The altcoins are definitely controlling the market here from what I can see. All right, now let's leave all of that and let's move over to, all right, just before we go there, we can see volume is 25 billion, 720 Bitcoin moving. And we can see the global market like volume movement, right, 62 billion. That's about it. And gas fees are very cheap today. That's pretty weird. But anyway, let's go straight into the content and see what we got here today, right? So if you're short for time, well, this is a short and sweet one for you. This is our longer term downward, well, slightly long term. So this is a channel we've been building from the 9th of May. And you can see we just broke above that, right? So this is on a daily. I put on a 4-hourly for you. So you can see we just broke above and we're trying to hold support. And if we put a fib on this and say, right, what's the situation right now? Let's have a look and see what's going on. We can put a fib here and we can see that this was the first time we tested this 618 level. And we're going to attempt to test it again. If we fail, then we come back and bounce here. So that's pretty much short and sweet for you. Ultimately, if you want to see the bullish action, we need to see this particular level here, this line here, 41,349. We have to break above this in order to reverse this trend and move continuously upward. Because as much as you think this is all bullish, this is a micro trend. This is a mini trend, and we have a larger trend. I've talked about this before, and I'll show you on another chart as well. I've got another chart for you here, so I'll show you it on this particular chart when we get there. So for now, this is all you got. So I hope you understand. So if we are expecting a low, then your low would be bouncing on this particular line here. So if we do get a low here, you can expect a 34,400 low. And if we do see a top today, as long as we can close the market above, which would be good. But if we don't, then the 36,577 currently is showing is still in play, and this is pretty much in line with what we showed yesterday, I believe. Yeah, this one here, 36,500. So it's basically pretty much in line with that. In fact, I don't need this chart, so I'm going to close this because, you know, we are still, you know, the thing is this particular level here is changing now, right? So what you can see is every day this level is changing as we progress. Let's get rid of this. As we progress, as you can see, this line is getting higher and higher, which means the price is moving higher and higher as well. So this particular low that we could expect is constantly changing, right? So I hope this kind of makes sense. We don't need any of this. I'm going to in fact delete this. I don't need this at all. Right, let's leave this. So coming back into this particular chart, yep, so this is the pattern you could expect from what we could see right now, is that we could expect it to come down. So what we're seeing is we might attempt to go here. If not, then we'll come back down here. We might even come as low as here. So the lows we're expecting around here and the highs we're expecting around here, unless, and this is a big unless, right? So this is the big if here. The big if is if we can shoot above both of these levels and then find support here, then it's a different story. Then we could be heading into here and then moving back up, but I'll show you a little bit more on that. So any one of you who are short on time, want a quick update, this was it. So this is what we're expecting. BTC could potentially play around this line or this line, so one of these two, this V shape. So let's put an area here just so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So BTC could potentially travel around this particular zone here. So I just make it larger for you so you can see. So there's a zone here, as you can see. There's a, like, you know, this is the angle zone I've put in, right? So what you can see is this specific zone is where BTC could drop into, okay? And the range for that zone, if you wanted to know the range as well, then we can also do that as well. So the range for that zone would be 35,000 and put a line here just so you can see 34,315 right now. So we've got a range here, basically just building, nothing more than that. I could have done it in square, but I just did it in triangle, so you can see the shape that we're expecting either on this line or either on this line. So that's about it, short and sweet, right? Now let's move over to the long stuff, right? Let's go into the long stuff. So yesterday's chart that we were working on, this is yesterday's chart, remember? So what I've done is I've actually started to clean it up a little bit and work on it a little bit more, right? So let's go back into this. So what I've been doing is just cleaning it up and saying, okay, let's do some more maths, and we don't need any of this right now. I don't need any of this, by the way. All I need is this one fib, right? And this fib was the same as what I just showed you here, by the way, right? This is the same fib, it's just zoomed in here and zoomed out here. So again, I don't probably need this here either. But what I'm doing is an hypothesis here, and I'm saying, well, you know, by the looking at the patterns and everything, right? what is it that I could expect? What are my low points and what are my high points if I was to do a prediction? So this is a long-term prediction, right? So what can I expect? So I'm expecting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move, because I believe the A, B, C, D, E move is done. And the question is everything agreeing right now? Is it saying that this could be possible? So sometimes what we need to do is, as I said, showed you yesterday, we need to look at other data and see what is it saying right now, right? So on this particular one here, we're tracking the, let me show you what I mean. So we're tracking the money flow and we're tracking the RSI. Now money flow is saying here, oversold. So we need to buy. This is a good area to buy. So when you see the green, basically buy. In this zone here, this box here is the RSI. It triggered to us on the 19th of May and it says oversold, mate. So you got to be getting up. So when we see situations like that, what we see is this happening, right? Which is a divergence. So money flowing back in, RSI moving back in, everybody's getting more confident, and we see these two indicators side by side doing this same pattern, right? So that's all we see. So this you can see illustrated here, right? So when it's red, it means overbought, right? So you can see this particular level here, when it goes to that red, it's overbought, it's going to sold. So if I go back into this and say, for example, go into this area, you can see the RSI oversold will show up as a red here as well. So we can see this red zone confluence, both of them agreeing this is just too much. We need to calm down the market. Market calms down and says this is the perfect opportunity to buy. So far where we are right now, it's been telling us this is the perfect opportunity to buy since this particular day, right? So that's all been flashing, buy. Here was a situation where the RSI was neutral, but the money that came in was very high. Okay, and you can see as quick as it came in, it went down again as well. So these guys were probably just quick opportunists, or just trying to make some money, quick money here. That's what it was. So we've got that here. Now we know the stochastic RSI. This is on a daily. Now stochastic RSI, I've told you this before as well, and let's actually move into this before I get into this particular indicator in the middle. Let's get into the longer, because I did promise to you yesterday, well, not promise, but I did say I was going to show you something on the longer time frames, right? So I don't know if anyone's requested it. I haven't been checking the message or anything. So on the longer time frames, what you can see, this is quite funny, right? This is crazy, right? What we see here was overbought. So this was March, overbought. April, overbought. May, finally on the 1st of May, we went back into the territory, into neutral territory. This is neutral, by the way. This is oversold. This is overbought. And so far we're in neutral territory, which means the market could continue. That's all it's saying, market could continue. Here, money flow, you can see money just pumped in from the 9th to 2019. Money just kept on coming in. Money did not stop. So we see this bigger data here. The money has not stopped coming into the market all this time. Even now, we're still high. There's a lot of money still in the market. And we can see that in the market cap, when we say, look at the market cap total for the particular coin, for Bitcoin itself, you can see we're sitting at about 600 billion, right? You can see that, right? RSI, coincidentally, look at this. RSI is showing something very funny as well. So if I just put it here, there's no point in putting one. I know you might say, well, why didn't you just put it here? Well, this is why I didn't put it here, because it doesn't really show us as much. But okay, we can still do this. And this is the 2020 dump. This is the 2020 dump, right? So what we see is there's a bit of a divergence moving up here as well. So every monthly, it's saying monthly is moving up as well. So RSI is good on the monthly. You got the money flow indicator good on the monthly. Now let's have a look on the weekly and see what the weekly is showing, right? So weekly, this is a little bit more compacted, right? Pretty much the same thing. So if I get rid of these two lines here, what you're looking at is pretty much the same thing here. We're seeing this particular level. So since 2018, money has just been flowing in. In fact, compared to 2018 to now, we see we've dipped down. This was our dump. We dipped down. And now we're trying to come back up again. So this is quite cool, but we're still within this neutral zone. So you see these two lines, this is the neutral zone. Now, let's move over to
the best indicator for weekly, this one here. Now, you've heard me talk about this and say when the blue line on the weekly moves back up and comes back into this zone, this is where you basically need to, you know, it's going to start another bull run. And when it does, it's going to continue up and we're going to go up, right? So you can see that this is the overbought territory, right? And the dumping started happening, and you can see the track the date as well. So since January 2020, it's been saying overbought, and a lot of people have been just kind of just getting themselves in position, taking their profits, getting in position. But right now, markets, since this day, market's been, since March, market's been saying, guys, you are oversold, mate. You are oversold. You need to get back in again. This is on the weekly, by the way. So you see different information on different stuff, right? But this is the best part. So what we want to do, we want to move on to the daily now, right? So we've shown you the monthly, what we can see on the monthly. So each indicator has its specific plus and minus. So as I showed you, the money flow, the RSI, monthly is great. Weekly is fine as well. And the daily is very good as well. Stochastic RSI, daily is very good. You can use it on the weekly, daily, and hourly time frame if you're trading on the hourly, but you've got to be spot on, right? You can, you know, stochastic RSI, literally any time frame you can trade this, which is really, really good, right? That's the stochastic RSI. But the best time to see what the market's actually doing is on the weekly. Now, we've got on the daily, we can see the stochastic RSI, the money flow indicator, everything is showing. So we've got another little divergence here. I showed you yesterday as well. Again, it's showing us on the daily, right? So this is today, you know, for since, when was it? Since 25th of June to now, it's been telling us oversold, oversold, oversold. So this area here, oversold, re-enter. So if you look at this, you can see the line is saying re-enter, re-enter, oversold, oversold, right? So we need to re-enter. That's what we see here, right? Now let's get into the magic indicator here. This is the magic indicator I want to show you, right? So what I'm showing you here is the network NVT and the HV historical volatility, basically. So I'm showing you both of those, and I'm saying, okay, what's the situation here? What's going on here, right? What's happening? Where are we right now? So this is on a daily, and what you're seeing here is these red background is indicating that this is going to be bearish. So since this particular day here, 17th April, it's signaled bearish. Now, how does it become bearish? Now, normally you'll see me use another color, but I'm using a different color here just to show you. So the red, when it turns into red, is bearish. Or when it turns into blue, it's bullish. So this is very simple. You just look at the chart. You say, okay, let's have a look at this. Let's get rid of all of this. And let's just open this up. And let's say, what happened when we were here? We started going bullish. So you can see the pattern on the top here, right? So when we go here, we went bullish and we had a pump. And then we went red, we had a dump. So let's have a look here. From here, we had a pump up to there, up to here, and then we had a dump. But here you can see the dump already happened and it showed slightly less. So basically this, obviously the curve changed, but what it was indicating was we're still within the bullish zone. So even though it was a little bit of a dump, it had good volatility, and it was showing that, okay, we can go back in again. So when we're looking at all of this and we're looking at history and whatnot, we can see one funny thing. So remember, so far I've been bullish about everything. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Well, today I want to show you one small thing that's like disagreeing everything. So you see this NVT and HV, right? So we're looking at historical volatility and NVT. And what we're seeing here, this is really, really cool. Oversold, neutral. So RSI is saying neutral. The money flow indicator is saying we're too low. We need to get back up again. So every indicator is indicating needs to go back up again. Stochastic RSI is showing that we're kind of high here on the trading. We need to start getting down a bit, come back into the equilibrium, come back down again and play again. So this is on the daily, remember the daily. And some of these on the daily ones, they could last forever, right? So this area here, you can see it's lasting from 30th of June to now. It's been signaling, signaling the same thing. In fact, I believe yesterday, let's have a quick look at this. Was this yesterday? Yes, so that was 4th of July, right? So it could be yesterday. Sorry, I'm not sure what day it is, but I live in the charts. I don't know what day it is. Yeah, let's not talk about this. This is going to be a joke. What's the date? Right, today is the 4th, right? So this is saying today's the 4th. It's saying that we basically had this signal give us to us and say, well, look, you're in the overbought territory. So this is good. This is saying money's coming in, right? Traders are trading, everybody's happy. We're saying, well, you're in the overbought territory, mate. You know, you've got a chance to go up to around these levels, but then soon after you go to these levels, you have to come back. So this is what this is translating. But this one here hasn't turned blue. So what we're focusing on today is this area here. We need this to start signaling us it wants to be blue. Right? All we want this to do is tell us that, right? You know what? I'm ready to be blue. You see, all we want is this indicator to turn and say, start being blue. Okay, so if this does, then I mean, it's going to be explosive. So I've actually taken a couple of screenshots, which I'm going to post to some of the groups, and you know, just kind of get started. Also, I've got loads of links and everything down below, guys. Check them out, because some of them, you know, they link to other stuff as well, and all my social links actually on the store. So I've got a new store, and everything's actually there right now. But this is what I'm seeing, and it's just like, you know, it's just unbelievable. Now let's move you over to not this one. This is my chart I made yesterday. Same chart. I was just zoomed in. This, I want to move into this. So you guys seen me work on this chart for some time. I built all this stuff, right? And I was looking at it yesterday, and I changed so I changed the background transparency. That's all I did, nothing else, just the transparency, because I saw something and I was like, wow, this is really cool. So what we saw here is, let me move in for you. What you see here is I drew this channel. These channels are based on longer time trends. So you got the mega trend here. This is the mega trend. So mega trend is still down. This is the zone of the mega trend. So it's showing you the area of the mega trend. Then it shows you a slightly mini trend here, and then slightly another trend here. So we've got multiple trends. We've got 1, 2, 3 downward trend line. There is not a single upward trend line, by the way, downward trend line. And then here you see the resistance we will be facing based on where we are. Resistance we will be facing when we enter these zones. So we can see these are resistance zone, and these are all mathematically put there, right? I don't want to go into that. It will take forever. Let's talk about this, right? So we drew this, and what you realize is, so first time when we were drawing, we were somewhere down here, and so okay, this is the pattern, let's draw. We drew this, and you can see we had a little bit of a trouble here. We got rejected. Fine. We reattempted, and what I want to show you is, look at this one candle here. We came and we got rejected. Here, one candle, and we smashed right through this blue one. So this this is a short time one, we just smashed right through it. Fine. So then what we do, we hover around a little bit, and then we came here on the top of the second channel, and we got rejected. And we came down and we said, okay, this is where we are. We could expect some lows around here, happy days. And then look at this one candle. This one candle. I don't know if you can see this. This is just so crazy, right? This is based, you know, this is based on maths, nothing more. You see this one candle pushes right through this one, right? And then continues. So we broke this channel. And here, this one candle broke through this. And look at this one candle here 2 days ago. It's actually attempting to enter into this zone. So, I mean, you can see why I'm so bullish, but at the same time, I'm being cautious as well. And you can see that this one candle is pushing, it broke, it doesn't care, it broke everything. Because remember, these lines are not 100%, but the point is, it broke above. It's attempting to come here. And as we progress along, remember, the price is getting higher and higher. We're getting higher highs. We're getting higher highs. We're not doing lower lows like we did here. So this was bearish. This is bearish. Lower low, lower low, lower low, every day, lower low. That's bearish. Then we came here and we started doing some higher highs. And then we re-entered the lower low area here for momentarily. And then we started doing higher highs again. And then we went bearish again. And now, these are micro trends, by the way. So you got major trend, short trend, long trend, you know, whatever, and this is a micro trend. These are just my names I'm calling. So on this micro trend, you can see that we're moving up, which is good, right? So far, we're still in a lower low because we're lower than this low. So what we need to do is break this trend, keep on going up, create some more higher highs, higher highs, higher highs until we come to this zone. This is the zone where we are going to face the heaviest amount of traffic. But what it's doing right now, gradually, right? What it's doing gradually, and this is on a 4-hourly, right? Gradually, every day, what it's doing is quite nice, actually. So it's not touching this line, but it's just trying to move, creep up. So I want to see some explosive moves when we get to here, and then from that point onwards, just smash through and give us that one high candle. This one high candle here will invalidate this and give us show us a pattern and say, right, we're moving back up again. I think the market will see massive inflow of confidence. Forget the money everyone's got. Confidence. That's what they're going to see when we re-enter these zones, and expect it to go crazy. So when I come back to this, then it kind of relates back to this particular chart. What did I do? This particular chart. Let's get rid of all of this. It comes back to this chart, right? So what I'm doing is I'm doing a projection, and I'm saying, right, if we do see these 41k, so this is the 41k, right? So where is it? 41k here. If we break above the 41k, then we've got the chance to go to the 50k, right? So this is approximately the 50k. If we do see a 50k, we might get a massive rejection, and we might come back to test the 37k, which is absolutely fine. If we test the 37k and we start moving the momentum, market money's flowing in. So since we're here, we'll have some profit takers where their money will come down, and then we start moving back up and we pump it up. And this is just, it's on a curve. It's on a curve, right? Big curve going upwards. So you can see it's on a curve moving upwards, right? So this is our pattern. We're going to see this pattern, and this is just me doing a projection, nothing more, right? So, you know, this is not a definite thing, but these numbers could change. Obviously, we haven't seen the future yet. There was a conversation. I was watching something recently where they were talking about how is time travel possible? Based on theory, apparently it is. So yeah, this is time travel for you. If you want to know, here you go. I'll put it on a chart for you now. But that's what's going on. But this is a very important chart for me. That's why I said I'm not going to stop working on this chart, because I've got a lot more stuff. I need to see what's going to happen. I need to see where it's going to move, what it's going to do, you know. So I hope, and this is, I'm being honest with you, this is a hope. I don't use the word hope, right? But I have to say to you, I want this by the end of the month. So by this yellow line, I want this to be on this 41k. Now, this yellow line is the next options, liquidations and whatnot. You know, I just plotted it last time, remember? So what I want to see is us breaking this, being in this zone at that time, because we are going to see a dump. And if we do see a dump, the pattern I'm looking for is we go like this all the way up to the end of the month, and then we get a dump and we come down somewhere down here, and then we continue. That's what I'm looking for. And then come down here, have a little dump and continue. You see what I mean? So I'm going to use monthly data to basically say, okay, what do I expect it to do every month, and what do I wish it to do every month? And this is what I'm wishing the market does every single month. Right, so far on a shorter time frame, as you can see, everything looks very good. No complaints here. Even on a daily, as you can see, it looks very good. So we need to break above this, remember. Weekly, this is let me get rid of the drawing for you. Weekly, this is very bullish. It's a red, but it's a very bullish candle. It's like a reversal candle. So you can see on the red candle, it was a reversal candle, which is a very good candle. This week, okay, this is indecisive. This is, you know, can't decide yet. this is the end of the week, can't decide. Good thing is it's closed on a green, so if we can have another candle today which is higher than this, then it's a higher, you know, well, higher technically. Obviously it's a lower high, but from here we can say higher high if we do get one. So let's have a look and see what happens tonight at 1 AM UK time, I believe. Let's have a look and see what happens. But other than that, everything else looking pretty much on track. So this is a monthly candle. As you can see, we've had 3 months of red, which is not the nicest thing to do, but then it is crypto. We could have anything up to 6-7 months of red, you know, which is pretty normal. I mean, we're not in a bear cycle. A bear cycle would have had 2-3 years. 2-3 years. I still know people who are holding their bags since 2017. So can you imagine that? So this month opened up very bullish. Looks bullish. Let's see how far it goes. Let's see if it continues. If we can get this candle this month above this particular line, right? This is the 41k. It's just crazy. Look, the drawings are off. I just put it on and it's 41k. bang on the dot. I mean, this is just ridiculous, right? So you see this bang on the dot. I didn't even realize this, right? So this is what it is. That 41k level seems to be a massive point where we have to fight and get above. This is where all the battle happened. This is where the bears won. This is where the bulls reacted. But this is where we have to beat the bears. This is where we have to beat the bears. So yeah, other than that, I hope this video was informative. I hope you found it helpful. I hope the guys who watched it in the beginning got their part and left, because I know some of the guys are always rushing, and so I thought, you know, I'll just drop it in the beginning. I'm not going to drag this. But anyone who's patient and has watched it to the end, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one. And I'll try to do like mini videos or something if I can, if I get time. But you know, as I said on yesterday's video, I am going to be cutting it down, but I'll fix some dates for you so you guys know what dates to expect it. So I'll do something that way, so I'll have it organized a little bit more, just trying to still get through a lot of stuff. But yeah, other than that, guys, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one. Adios amigos.